Okay, so welcome back everyone to EC 4353, which is the parallel computing. Okay, so just to recap back, the complete recording I think I have put in the YouTube. Okay, you can refer to that one again. Okay, but let me explain again the one that is maybe important. Okay, for this part. Okay, so we have here is Flint's taxonomy. Okay, so we divided, or okay, we categorize the type of parallel hardware into 4 types, which is single instructions, single data, okay, and multiple instructions, single data, single instruction, multiple data, and multiple instruction, multiple data. So this one is less used. So this is in pipelining and yeah, so this is for pipelining, like the floating point multiplication that we see earlier. Okay, so one part then go to another part, another part. Okay, so but the most use is either now the current technology is either this one or this one. Okay, single instruction, single data is used, for example, now in Arduino, because they only have one core. Okay, then they do specific thing for microcontroller, for example. Okay, SIMD, the most prominent one is the GPU card. Okay, in which you can speed up your computation on machine learning, on game, video game, and so on. Okay. Multiple instruction, multiple data is the most important one. We have 2 types here, which is shared memory. Okay, and we have here distributed memory. Okay. Okay, so for shared memory, what we have is we have CPU. Okay, and then we have sometimes we have level 1, the level 2, and shared level 3. Okay, and then we have another core level 2, level 1, level 2, and shared level 3. Okay, and then go to the IO to the bus. Okay, and then we have the memory here. Okay, so this is shared memory. Okay, and there is some issue later on for the cache. Cache is make it faster, but there is some issues on the cache. Okay, especially when you are sharing the memory, and then the memory is on one cache but not on the other cache. It's updated on one cache. For example, variable X is updated in L1 of core number 1, but it's not updated on L1 in core number 2. Okay, so core number 2 will see different value of X. Okay, so we need to propagate the value of X. Okay, whether write to or write back means that you mark the T or you update immediately. Okay, instantaneously. Okay, so there's some issue here, although we make it faster, but there is some issue when the because you need to keep track on the X here. You might have X value in the memory, so the memory need to be updated also, and the variable on the another cache, okay, should be updated. Okay, so but this is the shared memory. Okay, so we are doing cooperation by sharing the variable. So if you have variable A here, okay, then this matrix A can be read and can be written by all the cores. Okay, so you have here core number 1, core number 2. For example, you have dual cores. Okay, so core 1 and core 2 can read matrix A as well as can write matrix A. Okay, so reading is fine. Okay, but when it comes to writing, then you need to take care, because you might have data race. Okay, you might have so you need to ensure that it does not happen. Okay, so it will be consistent. Okay. Okay, this shared memory, and then we have another one which is distributed memory. Okay, distributed memory. Okay, of course later on you have here the interconnection between CPU and the memory. So you have various one. You have bar, you have crossbar. Sorry, you have bus. Okay, you have crossbar, and so on. The details I've explained earlier. Okay, if you have question, you can ask me. Okay, distributed memory on the other way is like cluster computing, in which you have several PCs. Okay, so you have, for example, yeah, so you have core, another core, then you have, let's say this is a single core. Okay, core, then you have memory here, Okay, core, and then you have memory. Okay. Okay, and then you have various core, you have memory. Okay, for the CPU, you have memory. So this is node number 0, node number 1, node number 2. By default, normally node number 0 is the master, okay, who coordinate the task and sending and receiving the final result. Okay, and then this one need to have another interconnection. So you can see from cores to memory, they have interconnection, bus and crossbar. For distributed memory, also they have another connection, which have direct and indirect. Okay, the details you can see on the next slide, and you can watch on the YouTube. Okay, so this is interconnection. The easiest one is like a Ethernet switch. Okay, like Ethernet switch. So you are connected using Ethernet, and then all the what you call all the PC, all the cores, all the nodes in the cluster computing need to send the data. So this one is called distributed memory because the memory is distributed. Okay, so you have 8 GB each, and you have, for example, three nodes. Okay, times 8 gigabyte each, so you have 24 gigabytes. Okay, 24 gigabyte of memory. But remember that this is distributed, means that you need to have what you call the variable here that is defined here is local to this PC. Okay, so variable A here means is local to this PC. The PC number 1 and PC number 2 does not have the variable A. Okay, unless it is specifically or officially sent to the other node. Okay, so you need to have send and receive. Okay, send from the node 0 and received by node 1, send by node 0 and received by node 2, and so on. Okay, so you have send and receive, and then after you receive, then you have the variable A here. Okay, so this is the concept, like so this is shared in essence, that is shared variable, but you need to specifically send, okay, the variable. Okay, right. Up to this, any question? Brother Nazmi, Sister Nazira, any question?
So far, no, sir.
Say again?
Okay, sir.
Okay. 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 So I think this is what you call the rest is, I think, okay. So of course then you have the various configuration of interconnection network. Okay, and the trade-off will be on the cost of implementation, whether it's real implementable or realizable. Okay, versus the speed. Okay, so there's always the trade-off between this one. Okay, if you want to have high speed, okay, then you need to have the cost will be high. Okay, similarly, like this one, why don't we make expressway or jalan tol 3-line? Because it's expensive. Okay, so sometimes you have near the city you have 3-line. Okay, but when you move on, like in Malaysia, when you go north, then you have 1 line only, or 2 lines, sorry. 2-line only. Okay, this is to save the cost. Similarly, like this. Okay, the interconnection is like the communication line. So you need to trade off between the cost and the speed. There are many configurations, but the keyword here is you need to have the thread between the cost and the speed, and also the implemented depends on your what you call, on your program as well. Okay, if you can somehow minimize the communication. For example, you only have expressway with 2 lines. Okay, so what you do, you need to schedule the truck that going to this one. For example, you schedule not on the high traffic hours. Okay, for example, you schedule that the truck might go to this road above 10 p.m. So when nobody use the road. Okay, so somehow you can manage like that. Okay, so similarly in the parallel computing, you need to manage also the communication. Okay, because later on chapter 3, we'll find that communication is one of the part that slow down your speed up. Okay, your parallel speed up. Okay. Okay, so I will not go more. So I think this is the most important thing, but I'll go to the what you call, to the another example. I have it in my in my table right now in front of me, but let's see this one. Yeah, so this is above my table. Okay, so if you can what you call decide which one this one. Okay, so I have this. This is Raspberry Pi Zero. Oops. Yeah, so this is Raspberry Pi Zero. Okay, and this is a Google Color USB accelerator, and this one is NVIDIA Jetson Nano. Okay, so I have three example here. One, you have 4 Raspberry Pi, okay, with cluster head. So this is cluster head. As the name implies, you can identify this is a MIMD, and this is what? This is distributed memory. Okay, I'll tell you why it is distributed memory. Okay. How about this one? This one you have CPU, which is the ARM CPU, and then you have the GPU accelerator. Of course, from NVIDIA, you have the GPU accelerator here. Okay, so you are connected between CPU and GPU. How about this one? This is the connected to USB. Okay, you have USB here, and you connect to the laptop. Okay, so as the name implies, this is the USB accelerator. Okay, so it looks like that you are adding a GPU card. Okay, you are adding GPU card, but this one specifically used for machine learning, and yeah, this one specifically used for machine learning. Okay, machine learning application. Okay, now let's see one by one. Okay, the example. So this is the cluster head. As you can see here, this is where you plug in your Raspberry Pi Zero. So at the top, you have Raspberry Pi Zero. Okay, Raspberry Pi Zero, like this one. Okay, like this one. It has its own CPU. It's at its own memory. Okay, then this is the interconnection and connected to the USB. Okay, so you have something like USB hub that behave like Ethernet. Okay, you have USB hub that behave like Ethernet. So that's why this is the maker of cluster head. Okay, I have, I think, version 1.2. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, sorry, I have version 2.3. Sorry, larger version than this one. Okay, so CPU, this is Raspberry Pi Zero, has its own CPU, memory, and I bought actually Raspberry Pi Zero W, mean it has wireless, so it can be connected as well to the others. Okay, and then this is we have maximum 4, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have CPU is on memory. It has its own also this one. Okay, SD card, like hard drive is on hard drive. Okay. You have CPU, you have memory here. Okay, you have CPU here, you have memory here. Okay, then this one interconnected using the USB. Okay, but you have here connected to the other one, which is the master node. So this one at the bottom is the master node. Okay, which is Raspberry Pi. It can be 2, 3, or 4, but I have Raspberry Pi 2. Okay, so this one become your master node. Okay, so Raspberry Pi 2, it has its own CPU, memory, okay, and then yeah, connected to this one using USB. Okay, it can connect it to this one using USB because this is cluster head, I mean the head. Okay, so you're connected to the pin on the Raspberry Pi 2 here at the bottom as the master. The power is taken from the master, you taken here. Okay, this is the power up all the Raspberry Pi Zeros. Okay, so this is like a cluster computing. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so Raspberry Pi Zero or 0W. Okay, yeah, so basically this one. Okay, so when you visualize, this is like you have computer. Okay, one. How many you have? You have actually 5 computer. Okay, you have 5 computer here. Okay, computer has on CPU, memory, hard drive. Okay, you have connected to hard drive here. I can then go to interconnection. You have CPU, you have memory, you have hard drive. Okay, CPU, hard drive, and then memory. Another one, yeah. So all has its own CPU, hard drive, and memory. Okay, CPU, memory, hard drive. Okay. So remember this one, this is Raspberry Pi 2 that I have. So this is the master node. Okay, and then this is slave number 1, slave number 2, slave number 3, and slave number 4. Okay, you have 4 slave. Okay, and connected using the USB that we see earlier. Okay, using the cluster head. Okay, so this is connected means that they are using the private IP address. So this one, the master can connect to slave 1, can instruct slave 1. Slave 2 can connect to the other one. So, but remember they have their own memory. So this is the type like MIMD, distributed memory. Okay. Okay. So this is distributed memory. So the only way that we can use this one is to using the message passing. Okay, so that's why you have a library called message passing interface. So you can use it here. Okay, the MPI library. Okay, so now this is the hardware. Okay, so of course there's some limitation of the speed of the USB here. Okay, the speed of USB, and this is shared. Okay, so you need to divide by 4 as well. I'm not sure the implementation. Maybe full duplex or half duplex, or maybe they are implementing switch. Okay, so that freely connected. Okay, but you can also test this one, the communication line. Okay, the communication line. Okay. Okay, now how it works actually. Okay, this is also the preliminary for chapter 3, which is the parallel software. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, this one can be we can use this one for message passing interface. Okay, so what we do here is actually we have shared drive. So part of the hard drive here shared. Okay, this is shared what you call shared directory. You have shared directory. So you compile, for example, you create program, MPI program. Okay, parallel program 1.c. Okay, we are using Julia for return, but this is an example. So then you compile to become MPICC. You compile to P program 1. Okay, then the shared drive, as the name implies, it is shared. So the master can see this one, pprogram1.exe, can slave 1 also can see, so they can run. Okay, they can run. Okay, and remember that for message passing interface, they are using creating processes. Okay, they are creating processes. So the slave 1 also has 2 cores, if I'm mistaken. Raspberry Pi Zero has 2 cores. Okay, so each one also, when you zoom in here, you have 2 cores here. Okay, you have core number 1, core number 2. Okay, and then you have shared memory here. Okay, you have shared memory. Okay, but still you are creating a process. Remember, when you're creating a process, it's different from thread. So you have, although you have a shared memory hardware. Okay, but when you're using the shared MPI, okay, distributed memory programming models, so you are creating process for C1 and C2. So you have here process 1, you have here process 2. Okay, P1 belong to C1, P2 belong to C2. Okay, you can see here you have different location of in the memory P1 and P2. Means that when you create a matrix A here, you need to intentionally or specifically send the message to P2 in order to give the copy of A to P2. Okay, because you are using here, although it is shared memory hardware, but you are using distributed memory programming model. Okay, so this is process. If you have shared memory, pure shared memory, then normally you are using thread. This is software threads. Okay, because in one process, then you can have here, this is one process, then you allocate some memory, and then you have thread 1 and thread 2. So thread 1 belong to C1, thread 2 belong to C2, for example. They can access the same location of memory. Okay, when you visualize, when you have shared memory program model, is like this. Okay, so you have memory, and this is the metric A. Okay, then this one is shared among the cores C1, C2. Okay. Okay, any question so far? Is it clear, Brother Nazri, Sister Nazira?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. And if we can do face-to-face, later on we can go to the lab and we implement this one. Okay, inshallah. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, so you need to think when you when you do the programming on parallel computing, you need to think whether you are on shared memory or whether you are on distributed memory. Okay, whether you are on shared memory or distributed. Distributed means you need to officially send the data to update all the variables. Okay, because it's on different variable. Even on the shared memory hardware here, you need to specifically send. Okay, we'll do some experimentation later on. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So this is the cluster head, the example. Okay, the next one is NVIDIA Jetson Nano. So this is the architecture. Okay, so you have 128 core Maxwell architecture for NVIDIA, and CPU is even quad core. So you have core 1, core 2, core 3, core 4. Okay, and then this one connected to memory. Okay, I'm not sure the memory is 4 gigabytes here, 4 gigabytes. Whether they have the video memory or is shared. I think this one will be shared. Okay, so then you have the GPU here, and the GPU also shared the memory. Okay, the GPU also shared the memory. Okay, I think to simplify the architecture. Okay, then so you can see here this one I think connected in one chip. I think combined in one chip, the CPU and GPU core. Okay, so what you can see here, you can, of course, whenever you see this one, you can have something like MIMD. Okay, MIMD. You can do both, and this is the shared memory architecture. Okay, shared memory architecture. If you think this is MIMD, or you can do think also this one. You have the SIMD. Single instruction multiple data. Remember the GPU, okay, it has more core. This is 128 cores, but the core here is different from the core here. Okay, the core here is can do for computation. There's no control units. Okay, so the control still need to be handled by the CPU. Okay, the CPU is still required. Okay, so yeah, so this is like a mini computer also with the GPU. So it means that you can accelerate your machine learning training and so on. Okay, right. Even in here, I have here the Raspberry Pi camera. So you can do also some inferencing. Okay, you can implement like YOLO, for example. You only looks one. You can segment the object and identify the object. Okay, segmentation and also identify the object. Okay, right. Okay, so this is two architecture one. Okay, you have SIMD and you have MIMD. Okay, if you are using this one, and means that this one will be hybrid. Okay, the architecture of NVIDIA Jetson Nano will be hybrid, because you can think this one as SIMD. If you fully utilize only this one, okay, all computation go to here, and or you can use this one MIMD. Question, okay, can we use both the core here and the core here? The answer is yes, but it's too complicated. Okay, the answer is yes. So either you use only the CPU for control, and then you use GPU for computation, because you have here more cores here. Okay, so yes, you can do, but it will be complicated, and I think there's no one way, because there's no one programming model that can cater both. Okay, you can distribute. Okay, and because also there's some not asynchronous, different speed. Okay, different architecture between the speed and architecture between this one and this one. So there's an imbalance there, so it will be difficult. Normally when you have cores, we want to have similar specification. If I have 1 gigahertz core here, I want to have 1 gigahertz core here, so it will be easier for me to distribute. Okay, just divide by half. One go to here, one go to here. All will do what you call, all will stop at the same time. Okay, so if I have 100 second here, okay, then if I have 2 cores, then I can run like 50 second here. Okay, like 50 second, divide by half. Okay, so the answer to that one will be you need to select whether you want, of course, because you have GPU here, you want to maximize the GPU core. Okay. The last one of the example architecture is Google Edge TPU coprocessor. As the name implies, this is coprocessors. Okay, you have Tera operation. Okay, you have, for integer 8. Okay, Tera operation for integer 8. Okay, so you can see here. Yeah, this one no need availability. Okay, I will fix this one. Okay, and so this one connected to the laptop. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that you have the laptop has its own CPU, maybe dual core, C1, C2, okay, or more cores, and connected to the memory. You have the interconnection bus. Okay, and then from here you have the I/O, which is USB, and then from USB you have the Google Color. Okay, it has its own core. I'm not sure how many cores. I think I'll find out later and I'll send in the Telegram group. Okay, so you have here how many cores here. So this is behaving like the previous one, NVIDIA Jetson Nano. So, but the good part of this one here, you can plug in anywhere. Even you can plug into Raspberry Pi. Okay, so you can, or you can plug here as well. Okay, to then means that you have another one go to Google Color, okay, for machine learning, but the programming model is different, so it might be more difficult. Okay, so this is your USB accelerator, so you can use this one for machine learning training. Okay, it'll be faster compared to this one. Okay, to the CPU, because you have multiple cores here, so you can run, you can speed up. Okay, the computation. Okay, right. So any question? No question?
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.